When I'm talking to people who are completely new to the topic of native ads, they mostly think, okay, when I have a product which helps people to lose 7 pounds belly fat in just 1 week, then I can start with native. But that's definitely not the case. There's just one part of native, which is arbitrage. But for example, we in our agency, we're running performance ads, which means they have to be profitable. And in this video, I will share with you my insights about which products make sense for native and which not. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of PurpleBlack, a native advertising only agency. So what we're doing on a daily basis is we run native ads profitable on campaigns like Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo Gemini, and many more. First of all, I want to share with you a lot of stories because it's very the same when you're talking to someone who is completely new to the topic of native ads. And they're usually thinking, okay, native ads are these scammy headlines where people can lose a lot of belly fat, where people can lose a lot of fat in general, or eat the wonder pill which helps against everything. But that's definitely not the case. Yes, that's the most scammy headlines. That's the most headlines which are clickbaity. But that's arbitrage. By the way, if you want to know more about arbitrage, check out my other video here on YouTube about arbitrage. But today we will talking about usual regular performance marketing campaigns, which means when someone invests $1 in native ads, they want to receive out at least $3 to $4. And that's a completely different part, because here we are not able to be too scammy, too clickbait in the very beginning, because then we are just receiving a lot of clicks, but nobody will purchase the product or the service. So let's talk about which products are a good fit for native and which not. So unfortunately, native ads are not a good fit for every product or every service. Due to the fact that you know that you don't have an interest-based targeting option, your targeting or your interest-based targeting is more or less the headline and the image. That's the reason, by the way, why you see so often headlines like, if you're between X and Y, keep attention. Because there's no real targeting option. That's the one only targeting. Usually when you're between X and Y, you will click into it. Or if you have knee pain and the headline contains, do you have knee pain, question mark, then you have to check out this genius product. So that's a completely different thing, because people usually will just click in when they're interested in. And as I mentioned, there is no real interest-based targeting. I don't mean that there is no targeting. You have targeting options, like for example, the geos, like for example, the device types. So you have a few targeting options, but of course not as much as on Facebook ads or on Google ads, for example, because they have way smarter algorithms. They have way more data from the past couple of years, and they know their users exactly. You have to understand that you have usually a Google profile, a Facebook profile, a TikTok profile, and so on. And these companies are saving all those informations on your account. When we're talking about native, we're not talking about just one company, but we're talking about the whole internet, which is a completely different number. So you don't have one account about your person in the internet. You have multiple accounts, but you don't have one big huge account. And that's the reason why native ads don't have real interest-based targeting, which is working probably also on a scaling basis. So first of all, let's talk about the audience. And the audience is a little bit different, especially when you compare it with TikTok. I like the comparison with TikTok because it's black and white. So in TikTok, you have a very young audience. And I know it went old in the last couple of months, but in general, you have a very young audience, which is something between 18 and 25, 28. So approximately in this range. And what I mean by that is that you have on TikTok a very young audience, very fast cuts, very high ad fatigue. So you're working with very easy created videos with just your smartphone. So they're very easy and fast to produce. You just have to put a few very aggressive cuts into it, and then it usually works. On the other hand side, you have native ads, and on native you're reaching out for a completely different audience, which is a little bit older. So usually you can begin to reach out or to target people who are approximately 30, 35, but there is no limit to the sky. So what I mean by that is that we have campaigns which are for people that are over 60 to 70 or 80, and we're still reaching them out via native ads. But of course, we're also able to reach out younger people, families, which are something between 35 and 45. So that's a very, very big audience, which is reachable via native ads. The good news here is that these people are usually already have good jobs, they're earning money, and they're also able to invest that money, which is a very crucial point, because when you have someone on TikTok who sees your ad and you have a product for, let's say, $100, $100 for a student are a completely different number than $100 for a person who has a job already for 15 years. That's not good or bad, it's just a different audience. What I mean by that is, and therefore we see also that people who we are reaching out with native ads, that they're able to invest more money, and they also like to invest more money. When someone wants to work with us, we're checking out first the offers of the brand. And usually they have, or sometimes they have very cheap offers because they have a lot of TikTok traffic, a lot of Instagram traffic, and it's working fine for them. But on native, we know we will lose margin. And what we do here is, for example, when one product costs $29, we put in 2 plus 3 or 2 plus 1 for free. And then we have a higher price with $69 or something like that. It's working, and you sometimes see almost the same conversion rate like for the lower product. But in this case, on native with the big bundle, you have a higher margin, you have a higher average cart value, and you have more possibilities for the CPA. So you can invest more money to acquire a new client. So in a nutshell, first of all, the audience is a bit older. When you have a product which is just a good fit for a very, very young audience, which is something between 18 and 25, then native ads isn't not the very best fit for you. But when you have an audience which is something between 30, 35, up to 60 or 70, then native ads could be a very good fit. Let's jump to the second point. And the second point is that you have to have a very broad product approach. So what I mean by that is that you don't have a real interest-based targeting option, as mentioned before, and therefore your product have to be very interesting for a lot of people out there. So when you scream into a mall and say, hey, I have this product, and it has a very broad approach, a lot of people should be interested in. But when you have a product, which is, for example, a B2B product, which is just a good fit for a very small audience, and it's very hard to reach them out, then native ads is not a very good fit for them. For example, when you just want to reach out CEOs of a Nasdaq company, then LinkedIn might be the better channel. I know that's again very black and white, but in general, B2B offers are very hard on native. There are some sweet points with, for example, finance and all that stuff, but in general, B2C offers are working way better on native, and when they have a very broad product fit. So it doesn't have to be a very general approach, don't get me wrong. So for example, when you're in the lose weight niche, it doesn't make sense to say, hey, I have a product which helps people to lose weight. But it makes sense to specify it, for example, to specify the audience, which says, hey, this product helps people or helps women between 35 and 54 to help this and this amount of weight. So that's a more specific approach, but in general, there are a lot of women who are between 35 and 54 who want to lose weight. So that's a very general approach. And on the other hand side, a very, very small specific approach would be when you have to use some tools like flex targeting on Facebook ads to reach out for this audience. So let's come to a quick conclusion. First of all, your product or service has to be a good fit for people something between 30 up to 60 or 70 years. And it has to be a very broad product approach. So a lot of people should be interested in this product or service. And please note that native is a great channel for scaling and to lowering your CPA, but it's not a very good channel for testing out completely new offers. By the way, check out my latest video about this where I talk a little bit more about when does native ads make sense and when not. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course when you subscribe to my channel to get notified when I upload a new video here on YouTube about native ads. Have a good one. See you next time.